So let's say that you've got a really cool website like mine, and for legal reasons that no one who's younger than 13 can be on this website. So you need to do something in your code that says, if the person who's on this website is less than 13 years old, give them an error message and say they have to get off the website. But how do you run different code depending on the result of a comparison? Well, there's something in programming called if statements. An if statement will take an expression, like a comparison, like user age less than 13, and if that condition is true, if it results in being evaluated to 1, as we learned about a couple tutorials ago, it will run the code that you give it. Otherwise, it will not run the code, or it will run different code. So let's write this program right now, because we really can't have 13-year-olds on our website. Integer user age is equal to, okay, let's say he's 12 years old and he's using our website. Now, we need to see if his age is less than 13. We want to give him a message that says he has to leave the website. Otherwise, we want to give him a message that says, thank you for using the website. So this is how we do this. We write if, makes sense, and in parentheses, we put the expression we want to test. We want to here to test if the user age is less than 13. And if it's less than 13, this will result in 1. If it's not less than 13, this will not result in 1. It will result in 0. And the if statement will only execute the code you give it if this does indeed result in being evaluated to 1. So how do you give it code to use? Well, just like we put code inside of these braces here, we can put code in braces after here. And this code is what will be run if this expression is evaluated to 1. So in this case, we want to print out a message. Sorry, you're less than 13 years old. You can't use this site. So we'll print that out. And let's run this code and see what happens. Sorry, you can't use the website. Oh well. What if we're 13? What'll happen then? Nothing. Nothing will happen. If we are 13, it's not true that we're less than 13 years old, and this code will not run. So we have just shown that you can determine whether or not a specific piece of code will run based on a condition, and you do that using if statements. Well, this doesn't solve the entire problem, because we still want to display something else if the user is not less than 13. If he's greater than or equal to 13, we want to say, thank you for using our website. Now, we could create a separate if statement. If user age is greater than or equal to 13, let's copy this. Thanks for using the site. And let's run this and see what it does now. It says thanks for using the site. So we are greater than or equal to 13, so we can use the website. But that's tedious. We had to do 2 tests. We had to write 2 different sections, 2 different if statements. There is a way to do it with only having 1 condition here, and that is using the else statement. So we get rid of this, and we basically just replace this line here with the word else. And this is how it works. If this expression is evaluated to true, to 1, it will run this code. If it does not evaluate to 1, it'll run this code. So this should have the same result. I apologize for that. Here we go. Thanks for using the site. It had exactly the same result as it did last time. So you can do it both ways, but this is definitely the easiest way and the way that is preferred. And one more thing that you should know. I've been saying if it evaluates to 1, if it evaluates to true. In programming, true and 1 are basically the same thing. In the C programming language, in fact, they are exactly the same thing. 1 is true, 0 is false. The only value that is equal to false is 0. All other values are true. So 1 is considered true, -1 is considered true, and 0 is the only thing that's considered to be false. So if you were to write this code, if 1, it would always run this code and would never run this code because 1 is the same thing as true. The same thing if you did -1, it would still always run this because anything but 0 is considered to be true. And if I give it 0, it would not run this code. So it says thanks for using this site. It didn't run this code, it ran this one instead. And if I do 1, it says I can't use the website. So that's the basics of if statements and else statements and how you can use them, and especially how you can use the two together to write more concise code. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and I will see you again in the next one.